Welcome once again, friends, to a word of hope for the memorial of the Passion of St. John the Baptist. You remember who he is, the herald that comes before Jesus in birth and in death. And that takes us right to the context of today's gospel. We have the familiar story of Herod at a party with all of his guests. His daughter, stepdaughter actually, comes in, impresses the guest and the king with her wonderful dance. And the king, in a reckless moment, promises her everything up to even half of his kingdom. And unfortunately, she gets advice from her mother, who does not like John the Baptist, Herodias. And John the Baptist's head is delivered on a silver platter. Now, we can focus on John, martyr of truth and justice, but I think it might be more helpful for us to focus on Herod. Herod regrets this decision, but Herod thinks he has to save face, and that's the most important thing. And oftentimes, friends, that's what we think. Why didn't Herod have the humility to say, "I'm sorry, I love you, my dear daughter, I'm grateful to you, but I will not play with a man's life in this way, even if he is my prisoner, even if I don't like the challenge he's giving me at this point in my life." But Herod doesn't have that courage. It's made me reflect, how many times do I not have the courage to say, "I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have promised that. I shouldn't have said that. I can't believe I even thought that." It requires a level of self-examination. And John's our inspiration of this. He's the one, of course, who said, "I must decrease, and Jesus must increase." You see, when we decrease in the eyes of the world and in our own estimation, we actually increase in the eyes of God and in God's estimation. And it begins with an act of love, saying, "I'm sorry," when we've overpromised, when we've oversaid what we should not have said, when we stepped in where we should not have stepped in. That's what humility is. You know, it reminds me of one of the worst lines ever in movie history. Now, I'm going to date myself, but remember that old movie Love Story with Ryan O'Neal, and I can't remember the young lady's name in there at the moment, but, Ellie something. Anyway, what was the famous line? Love means you never have to say you're sorry. Well, that's bunk, and we know it. Saying "I'm sorry" is always an act of love, an act of humility, and an act of courage. It's more important than ever saving face, because the only face we have to be concerned about is our face before the face of God. That's our word of hope. God bless you.